Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Hey Sister.
I'm doing well, sister. How about yourself? I got my baby hair glistening a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, she got her baby hairs popping.
Yeah.
Mine's is graying and thin.
Yeah, mine is thinning too.
But you know, because we ain't babies, so we ain't got baby hair. All right, that's a whole nother conversation. What's up, y'all? If you're tuning in live tonight to Hey Sister, we want to welcome you to the show. We're excited to have you. Make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. Make sure you join the conversation in the comments. And you know what? Let's take a pause right now so you can text everybody, send them the link, either the Facebook link, YouTube link, so they can come on in the room, join us live. And make sure you subscribe to our website. We're trying to grow our following on our website, get out the merch, and you'll never miss an episode. And you can watch it directly on our website. How about that? Let's see. Yes, Jody is tuning in, and we love you. Thank you, super fan. We appreciate you for being here. Listen, I'm one for a good side eye. What about you, sister?
Yes. Yeah, I am absolutely one for a good side eye. You know why? Because sometimes a side eye saves you from a punch in the throat.
You know, I do believe that side eyes are necessary to prevent punches in the throat or slaps in the face.
Yes. Side eyes can be a growth, an example of growth. Like if all you got was the side eye, when back in the day you might have got something else, growth.
Growth. I think a side eye is also an opportunity for us to what you say, Jody? My eyes get more of a workout than the rest of my body, baby. Listen, if you've been in the news this week, like we've been in the news this week, it definitely deserves a lot of side eye. But we're gonna take it slow. We have our top 5 for the week.
And you may have others, so please chime in. Let us know
if you
have
some others. Drop them in the comments because we would love to see them in the comments, and we would love to react and respond to them, especially if it's things that we know about. And if some we don't know about, we'll go back and find out later and research and see. But first of all, let's address it's not the elephant in the room. But my sister is here in person. So you see, we're in the room sharing space today. This is a big week.
It is a very big week.
This is a big week. My baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. Not that kind of baby girl, but my baby girl is graduating high school.
Our production assistant who said tonight she's off.
That's what she said. She said she off this evening. Baby girl, yes, it is graduation week. My daughter is graduating from Lake Nona High School. I'm super excited and proud for her. She is going to be headed off to my husband and the mother folks will say, D, I love Jackson State University.
Not me, I don't say.
Jackson State University. We're so very excited and happy for her. And before we dive into the side-eye moments and the foolishness, we've been seeing the high school graduations, the college graduations. We've been seeing all of this transpire online, and we just want to say to everyone who is at this inflection point in this transition phase in life, congratulations. Yes. It is definitely a milestone. It is definitely a memorable moment. It is something that you are going to cherish for the rest of your life. And we encourage you to be in the moment, enjoy the moment, embrace the moment as much as possible, because it goes fast and you blink your eyes and you're like, I've been out of high school 25 years. That's I know it's more than that. See, she getting a side eye. Y'all see that, huh? A little flutter of the.
I mean, next year's gonna be 30 for me. So
yeah, but I'm just saying, you blink your eyes and you're like, damn, how that happened?
Exactly. I'm still trying to figure it out. Y'all know I'm still up here talking about I'm too young to have kids. So, but yet My friends have children graduating from college.
Or grandchildren.
Or grandchildren.
My friends got children that married and on second marriages. And you like, well,
I'm still trying to figure it out.
all so good. It is all good, and we just want to congratulate you and say enjoy the moment, and we wish you the best. And remember, while there are a lot of serious things, don't take any of it too seriously, but most importantly, remember whose you are and who you are. And when you walk in the world with that confidence, it makes facing the challenges that you're going to face a lot easier.
And it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want to do right now. If you don't have your entire life planned out ahead of you, it's okay. We promise it will work itself out. As long as you do your work, everything else will take place.
Absolutely.
By the way, sparkling water gang, I don't want you all to think of tossing back a 40 ounce.
So if you want to toss it back a 40 ounce, you grown, you can do that if you want to. All right. So in the spirit of full transparency, we didn't fully get ourselves together as we were preparing for this today because we was out here trying to go eat some. We've been eating good and clean, and we went to get today. We let today be a cheat day. And let me tell you something. We've been sleepy every day, every time since. I don't know about you, sister, but I'm still recovering.
I took my nap. Clearly, I wasn't playing.
Naps are a beautiful thing. So, but let's get into
these side-eye moments.
Side-eye moments.
Pull up these words because I'm just boy.
So, what happened to that boy? He about to get one of them. So this young man, Harrison Butker is his name.
Harrison Butker. I'm sure that was challenging growing up.
He is a place kicker
for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And I had heard, because news stories have broke about his comments, specifically his comments about women and to the women graduates in the audience
at Benedictine College.
And Benedictine College, it is a Catholic university, and so I all too graduated from a Catholic institution. It's the only HBCU Catholic institution, Black Catholic University, Xavier University of Louisiana. Shout out to all my Zadie grads out there. Y'all did it this week. Wow. Anyway,
Harrison is being lauded by some as just such a great example of his Christian faith and beliefs and, I guess, Catholicism. And yet the nuns, they are the Mount St. Scholastica nuns, I believe, that who run the school, founded the school. They have come out against some of his comments, specifically about women being homemakers. Now, when I first heard about the speech, that's what I thought the big kerfuffle was about. And of course, I heard the comments, and I'll find the exact verbiage because I don't want to mince old boy's words. He went out there. He clearly chose violence. And how more people didn't walk out on him, how more people didn't come for his head, I'm not sure. But that was where most of the...
Because y'all walked out on Jerry Seinfeld. And it's not a lot of people. And that's the other thing. The way the news reports and stuff, I mean, you talk about 20, 30 people. The way the news is reporting, like 5 students turned their back on Joe Biden at Morehouse. Like, stop it with the exaggeration. But the fact that the women
didn't get up, just rise en masse, I'm just really shocked. So I want to dissect just a few things that he said, because like I said, that's where the major focus was. We dropped the link to the actual text so you can read for yourself. But some of the things that immediately jumped out at us as we listened, because, dog whistles, right? I will say this. So one thing he said...
They ain't no dog whistles. They were bullhorn.
No, you're right. They were bullhorn. He says... It spoke to the many challenges where he was speaking about President Menace used his gift of persuasion to get him to come because he said he had done a speech last year. So he felt like more than one graduation speech was more than enough. Mind you, 28 years old. But it spoke to the many challenges you all faced throughout the COVID fiasco. First of all, fiasco. Okay. It was not a COVID fiasco.
It was a pandemic.
And it's troublesome that you would even use the term fiasco when millions of Americans died.
Just Americans.
Just Americans.
Not in the world.
Not in the world. Yeah. Okay. So that was problem. That was the first thing that like spidey senses go up like
say what now?
Side. While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. So what poor leadership are you speaking of, sir?
Right, because when that fiasco started, it was under your leader.
Clearly. IVF, I'm still very challenged on how abortion, you're anti-abortion in all cases, but then you're also anti-IVF. Like, isn't the point of IVF is to try to have kids? It's very challenging for me to wrap my brain around that. Surrogacy, like, maybe, sir, because you're 28, you don't.
The Catholic Church has a stand. So we just finished watching the Pope on 60 Minutes. So the Catholic Church has a stand. So they don't believe or they don't support surrogacy. They don't support these scientific interventions. However, as the Pope said, but grace is for everybody. The Spirit is for everybody. And since the Spirit is for everybody, why don't you hush your mouth and let the Lord do what he's supposed to do? Okay.
That part, but also
judge not lest ye be judged.
That part, but also I understand not wanting scientific interventions, but I am pretty
certain. I didn't mean to give you the side eye because it's just everything.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. But I'm pretty sure there are. You all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there are people who are of the Catholic faith who have used condoms in their lives. I'm sure there are people of the Catholic faith who have used birth control. And I know those two things specifically are also supposed to be prohibited. And I'm sure they're not the only things. Let's get down to some other
some of the most stuff that he said, because I'm going to say something too.
He goes, our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. So now my question is, who art thou to decide when someone can or cannot make the sign of the cross? Because we're supposed to be in prayer at all times. So if that man is praying and meditating on something before he goes into, and I don't even want to call it a pro-abortion rally, because like some of these people got all these terms mixed up. Right. I don't know where he was. But that ain't my business, because you let somebody else go out there with a Bible upside down talking about 2 Corinthians and now to wait and put the Constitution in the Bible that he's selling for $60. Where's that criticism? That seems a little more blaspheming to me.
But here's the thing. To offer someone a blessing. Right? The sign of the cross is you if he is in prayer in that moment, or if he's saying, asking for blessing upon somebody who may have found themselves in a situation or circumstance where their health is on the line and life is on the line, anything, and you gonna criticize that? Who art thou? For real.
Then he made a little slight so he got into some comments about priests and bishops and what have you, but no, I don't recall that being specifically alluded to. He tried to throw shade to Taylor Swift, referring to her as his teammate's girlfriend and referring to one of her lyrics. So it sounds like there's the song that he referenced, one of her fans, like, it's interesting that you would reference this particular song because it's about a strong woman who's doing her thing and an insecure man, and she's basically pushing him out her waist because he's blocking her shine. So it's interesting that that would be the song lyrics that you chose. I just want to know, like, who proofread this? But I guess he said what was on his heart.
He said what was on his heart and on his mind. It was interesting. So two things. So number one, I saw someone do a breakdown of it, a young man on, or a young person on Leslie Jones's Instagram, was like, you know what? This speech really makes you sound weak. Like, you sound like a weak, insecure man. Like, the take that this is manliness or masculinity, that's not what it sounds like in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's not the take that you think it sounds like. That's number one. But number two, the bigger point that I discussed in Sunday school earlier, is the fact that you are espousing things that you learned in church, but not that you learned from the life of Christ.
Right.
Because if you a Christian, none of that judgment, criticism, and critique of other human beings should have even dripped off of your tongue.
Right.
It should have been some grace. It should have been some mercy. It should have been congratulating people on their achievement and the hard work that they put in. It shouldn't be telling anybody about their place and or station or what they might choose for their life goal and profession. There are many women who are not homemakers,
right,
who may choose never to get married and may never have children of their own. But that don't mean that they can't be great contributors to society, that they are not contributors to this world and industry and business and innovation. Because see, what also was interesting to learn was that his mother is a renowned scientist.
That is interesting. Now you told me that. I'll
look it up.
I'll look it up. But I do want to say this part where when he talked about, for the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. First of all, bro, you like 6 years older than them.
You 28. Shut up. That young life. Your young life. Your young ass.
I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother.
For your wife who's married to that millionaire,
I'm on the stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. Well, sad to say, the way this country has been set up, a lot of women can't lean into that vocation.
A lot of women don't want that damn vocation.
Now, a lot of women don't want it, but a lot of women can't lean into it. Everybody's not able to marry somebody who plays football. Hell, everybody who want to play football can't play football. So how all the women gonna marry football players and lean into that vocation? It's a lot easier to lean when you making millions and getting beat up every day. Her body gonna be fine. Nonetheless, and then what was the comment? He also made a little slide to DEI, and I can't remember how he said.
I can't remember that either.
But
y'all, if we dropped the link in there, read the speech for yourself. If you want to listen to it, listen to it. Benedictine College has turned off the comments on YouTube, so you can't comment on it. But read it for yourself because there's nothing like reading someone else's word and dissecting it. And I'm gonna just say, at 28 years old,
live a little more.
Live a little more, see a little more, and let's see when his wife divorced him.
Or let's see if they are challenged with having children. Let's see if she ever has a miscarriage or a spontaneous abortion. Let's see if she has a
or if she matures and decide, this is not the profession I want anymore. My children are growing, they're older. I want to actually do something.
And last but not least, I'm gonna tell you, bruh, you the place kicker, so maybe there's some comfort in that role. But if any of those cheats, if Taylor's your teammate's girlfriend's boyfriend, if your teammate decides that he wants to let others know, guess what? He's the star of the show, not you. So I hope that they make sure you're protected when you're kicking.
And with that, we gonna move on. Oh, upside down. Boy, turn me inside out. Oh, round and round. So y'all, Justice Alito.
Samuel, that is. What are you gonna blame that woman? That's all I want to know, hunty.
They always blaming the wife. When shit pop off and go wrong,
which is why the vocation ain't that high.
That's what. We don't want that.
So you all may have heard that Samuel Alito, Supreme Court Justice, on January 6th, I think on January 6th, we know the day that the folks rolled up, that he had a flag, an American flag, flown upside down outside of his home. Now, not only, for me, the first thing is, not only is that disrespectful in general, because I just, again, all of these patriots, like, don't even know the rules of how the flag is supposed to be flown,
cared for,
all these things. But it's supposed to have been
I don't think it was actually on January 6th, but it is a part of their symbol of stop the steal.
Right. It was a symbol of stop the steal that wasn't stolen. So yeah, I think it's interesting. These wives are out here, these justices' wives are out here clowning. I mean, since he blamed his wife, I'm gonna just say it was on her, I guess, child. I don't know. With the little I think I'm just overwhelmed by the idea that as a Supreme Court justice, my understanding is you're supposed to be sort of apolitical. And so it is just very challenging to me that you would be just that blatant. Like, why would you ever fly your flag upside down? You should never want to do that. And so
yeah. And so it's supposedly in response
to a neighbor or something.
A neighbor who had some anti-Trump information in their yard. But once again, decorum. Like, see, this is the thing that gets me. Because we were all of these arbitrary rules about behavior, about conduct, and how you should carry yourself that these people imposed on us, because we didn't have them when we came here, right? About how you're supposed to behave and act and revere and this and that and the right? All of this. But then when it comes to them having that same level of behavior, decorum, protocol, procedure, understanding of rules, as you said, the flag that they revere so much that most likely was made in China. Let's talk about that first. Yeah. This fabric that
Betsy Ross did not. Stitch that one.
So this American flag that probably was made in China that he got flying on outside of his home, that clearly you do not revere, and to be so just the blaming or saying my wife did it. You ain't had no conversation with your wife,
right?
You ain't have no conversation with your wife. Like, see, me and my husband, we're in partnership, so we try to move as a unit. Sometimes we might disagree on things, but ultimately, y'all ain't gonna know we disagree on nothing because we move as a unit. That's our, our system, how we work and how we operate.
When y'all out in these
when we
streets.
out in these streets. And so for you to have the audacity, because it's the same thing that Clarence Thomas has done.
Right.
Saying, oh, well, that's my wife.
I'm tired of everybody blaming their wife. If your wife out there wilding like that and you know what your job is and you know what the ramifications are, then you need to be having some conversations with your wife and say, nah, sis, you can't be out having me out here looking bad like that. You know I'm a Supreme Court justice. You know I'm supposed to have the appearance
of being neutral.
Right.
How about that?
And we can feel how we want to feel on the inside of the house, but outside, this is how it got to go down. And for that not to even be a part of the conversation is problematic for me. So yeah, them to the upside down flag. I think it's disgraceful in the first place.
It's disgraceful. It's shameful. It's tacky. And it just even when, and so Harrison, like we just talked about, Mr. Butker talked about all of this about the women and
how folks supposed
to act. But for that man to not protect his wife, but throw his wife under the bus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Side eye. This is gonna be my favorite part.
Hey, we like to party. Hey, body roll. Oh, girl.
He said he's 80.
80. 80 is the new 70. 80 the new 60. Out there grinning and getting on the selfies.
Listen, okay, y'all, I don't believe that this is the truth, but the news just said it was social media based. I would have to go to Rudy's page. But this boy posted I don't want to go to his page because I don't want them to think that I want to see this stuff.
No.
But according to this, Rudy posted, if Arizona authorities can't find me by tomorrow morning, 1, they must dismiss the indictment. 2, they must concede they can't count votes. And there's a picture of Rudy surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bleach blondes. And
they love them bleach blondes, girl.
And another guy. And we see some balloons because he was at his birthday party down in Palm Beach.
No, Rudy, it's down in Palm Beach. Y'all know they was at they might have. So, Rudy, it's your birthday.
So, to that, the Arizona Attorney General said the final defendant who was served moments ago at Rudy Giuliani, nobody is above the law. They responded to his message. I don't know. I don't know if it was on Twitter or where. But first of all, boy,
first of Lee,
boy, you were a mayor,
old ass man.
You old. You real old, but you were a mayor. You have a degree in the law. You know how this system.
He been evading these people.
For a month. They've been trying to serve you properly for a month.
And you want to throw a party.
And you want to have a party. But to get on social media, we keep talking about the hubris. And for somebody who had black
hubris, narcissism, arrogance, like you can name all the things.
For somebody who had black ink rolling down your face in a press conference, you should not have this level of confidence anymore. At this point, you need to humble yourself. Kendrick Lamar, can you do a diss track on Ruby? Because maybe he'll get it together. Because how you
Kendrick say, bop, 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 bop. That's what the Arizona Attorney General said.
Right.
Bop, 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 bop.
How are you this bogus out here in these streets thinking you're going to post on social media and then people ain't going to figure out where you at? Probably had the location on and everything.
Here's the thing. This is the thing. Them people was at the point.
Right. And as the New York Post stated, in front of nearly 75 guests, two officials with Arizona's Attorney General's office arrived at the shindig around 11 p.m. to hand Giuliani the papers in the case alleging he and 17 others were involved in a plot to overturn the 2020 election, the sources said. Some partygoers started screaming, and one woman even cried as Giuliani was served. No, don't cry. What you crying for? You should have told him to turn himself in, and then you could have the part. They probably was gonna let you, you know how they do. The rules be different. Like us, we turn ourselves in, we in jail, sitting there waiting for until they find a court date. But y'all know that ain't how it works for you. You probably gonna wait to the party still, follow the law, but now you gotta get shamed at the party and get your papers.
But the tears of it all, like, so that's the thing that gets me.
Right. Not that,
why you crying?
Not that he tried to lie and steal an election and destroy democracy. No. It's because Rudy, who posted.
Basically, he said, "Y'all come get me."
Right. Yeah, he said, "Nuck if you buck." They nuts.
They said what? They said
they bucked because he nuts.
They bucked because he nuts, and they ready to fight because they ready to take his ass to court. We've been trying to get you to show up. You ain't want to show up, and you have the, as you say, the hubris, the narcissism, the caucasity, unmitigated gall to post on social media with your group of bleach blondes around you and a boy. And basically say, "Come and get me." He was trying to do. Who is that? Who gonna check people? Is that what he did?
Sheree, he did.
He did Sheree. Or he was like, "Come on," or was he like, "Mystical, here I go"? That's what he did. He was like Mystical, and every time Mystical said, "Here I go," he got go. He got go. So Rudy,
get a better game plan, sir.
But we like to party. So you know what? I applaud anyone who lives to 80. I think it is a beautiful thing to live and seemingly be healthy, because we know he ain't all healthy,
right?
But to seemingly be healthy, but to have such a lack of humility and such a lack of shame. And and I'm not big on shaming people, but do you have no shame that your old ass is period out here on social media taunting
other people in your profession, when you know that you served in a role where this kind of thing has to happen, and you want to taunt people? Listen, this is what I gotta say.
What you gotta say, girl?
I don't always be shouting out Arizona. But shout out to Arizona's Attorney General for saying, I can show you better than I can tell you.
But this is the thing you need to understand. They was already there at the party. This party was in Florida, Palm Beach County, right there.
He sent an invitation to someone.
Y'all know that the flight between Arizona and Florida is a good 4 hours and 41 minute flight. You got the jet stream with you, because going back it's about a 5-hour flight, but you got the jet stream in your favor, pushing your plane along. Y'all know those people, and they served him. They waited to the end of the party,
but before the day ended,
because 11:59 would have been too late.
Well, no,
midnight would have been too late. But they 11 p.m. Y'all know this was planned, calculated. They already was at the party. They knew what was going down. And the fact that you didn't understand that they knew what was going down. And actually, I think they might have waited on purpose.
Oh, they did. They want you to have a good time. They want you to have a few drinks. Enjoy your cocktails. You paid for the past hors d'oeuvres. Get you one. Get you a little wrap prosciutto or something.
They probably had a carving station.
Some charcuterie. They probably said, "Okay, I need a little crudité." Okay, I'm happy that they got all of that and then said, and probably was like, hey, Rudy, yes, this party live. Hey, here, I got something for you. Bam, you been served.
Boom. Girl, that's what they said. But people yelled and they cried. Girl, white woman tears is something else, honey, but they can't save you on this one.
Well, you made a point. I just want to say this before we go to the next topic. 80 years old is a blessing. But one thing I know for sure is when you do right by people, when you try to live a good life, you know, you could have 80 good years, you can have 60 good years. Or you can live to be 100 and be crumbling down the entire time. And there's nothing about his 80 years, in my opinion, that feels like they've been really good for him.
No. How many times divorced? Children don't talk to you.
Again, just outside of the wrong place, standing out there, the Roosevelt or something. What it was a nursery.
It was the Four Seasons
nursery. So I said Roosevelt, the Four Seasons nursery instead of the hotel. You got stuff running down your face. And here's the other part. Donald Trump may never go to jail. And I've accepted that. I don't like it, but I've accepted that. But some of y'all other folks, y'all are. And y'all gonna go down for him. So if that's your king, hey, as long as you cool with going down with that dude.
Child, listen. Okay. All right.
Or going down for that dude, let me say. Okay, now we got to transition.
Woo! Child, listen. Okay. Y'all have been mighty quiet out there in the comments. So please drop a comment. Tell us like what you think. Come on, join the conversation in the comments tonight.
We've been looking down at our phone because again, our PA graduated.
My phone about to die on me.
We trying to find all the things. The links and everything. We've gotten a little lax since we got a PA, and we better get it together because she's gonna be going to college. She said she ain't gonna have time for us no more. I know that.
Child,
we gotta pull it back to the okay. We got a little bit more. Hey,
how you doing, girls? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay,
we gotta talk about something a little more serious though.
Moment of silence as y'all see as I give this side eye. I apologize to you. I apologize once I know that the statute of limitations is over. I apologize after I know that this has been caught. So my sister got a theory. So anyway, if you haven't heard, we are all, and we talked about this some months ago, like it was grand opening, grand closing. When Cassie filed that lawsuit, within 24 hours, they settled.
Huh? This is what the Blairism was supposed to
listen. Within 24 hours, that lawsuit was settled. It was done. It was dead. So today, or over this past, at the end of the week, CNN exclusively obtained video where it showed at an Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles where Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, whatever name he wants to roll up, Brother Love, whatever name he wants to use, assaulted Cassie. And in a very violent way where she was trying to leave, trying to escape, and he dragged her and he kicked her, and so the video came out.
He threw lamps and stuff.
It was absurd. And this happened in 2016. Is that something like 2016? That. So let's do the math. It's 2024. So we're looking at 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. That Intercontinental Hotel doesn't even exist anymore. So it is, I don't know if it's a new property or whatever, but that hotel doesn't exist anymore. So we were like, did somebody hold on to that footage? Like, who held on to that footage? Who had that footage? Because it was somebody that worked at the hotel or what? Like, because something for 8 years ago to just be released and exclusively obtained by CNN and not TMZ.
Which TMZ.
Because TMZ used to be Johnny on the spot.
Right.
But the fact that that was attained,
2016,
is gives us some like makes our spidey senses go off and like thinking about what happened. But let's talk about the apology, because that's where the side eye comes in for me. Because for months, when she filed her lawsuit, oh, I ain't saying nothing. I never did anything. Your lawyer's out here saying what you ain't did. Then they raided your house and the children was there when they raided it. Nope, nope. Now denied, 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 denied. And then now it's like, oops, I did it again. It's like, I'm just ashamed of myself, and I've worked to be a better man and all of this stuff. And it's like, bruh, lie to me, lie to us, lie to the public if you want to. Just don't lie to yourself. And I truly hope you are working to be a better man. I truly hope you're seeking redemption. I hope that you are seeking restoration. I hope you're seeking care for your troubles. But I also hope that you're held accountable for everything that you've done. And Mace talked about you a long time ago. Not with that money.
So many people
have talked about you. So there is something sick, sinister, but there's even something sicker in the apology, because it just is so just because again, he didn't immediately apologize when the video came out. The apology came after the district attorney in Los Angeles said that there's nothing they can do because charges was not ever filed, and the statute of limitations on that has passed. That's when the apology came.
This one, so under his apology, which I haven't listened to the apology. I heard some of it on the news. I haven't listened to it in full. She's like, not you up here performing, apologizing to the public instead of Cassie after years of traumatizing and gaslighting her is nasty work. The mask is off and you're only sorry because you got caught. We don't believe you. The rest is between you and God. I'm going to say this. I do believe that God forgives us for all things, all right? If we repent and, believe what you believe, this is what I believe. If you repent, you pray, you're sincere, God forgives you for the things that you've done. God forgives us, but man may not. Man may not have the same empathy for us. And as Demetria said, part of the reason why man doesn't have the same empathy is because there were those who immediately, once Cassandra Ventura filed the lawsuit, she within 24 hours the lawsuit was settled, right? She could not necessarily file criminal charges at the time, but she did,
because so many years
have passed. She filed this civil lawsuit. 24 hours, the civil lawsuit is settled. Okay. Now, there are always going to be those who say, you know what? As a celebrity, sometimes you just take it on the chin, you pay the money, and you don't ask questions. Like you just that's the life of a celebrity. That you're going to be faced with countless lawsuits, whatever. But for a lot of people, their immediate response is like, that's interesting. Less than 24 hours later, you paid this money out, right? So that for some people, it felt like an admission of guilt. But you were like vehement that this was a witch hunt. Like with all the people coming out, you put this post up talking about enough is enough. You denied it. You talked about how this is your livelihood, this is your family's. And so that's why some of humans aren't going to necessarily be as empathetic, right? Again, you and God, God forgives, God shows grace, God shows mercy. A lot of other people may not. And I'm not saying that that's right, but what I am saying is I don't believe this is the first time. The violence that appeared in that video, that does not only with her, I don't believe it was the first time for any woman he's encountered. Because it is my understanding, based on the lawsuit that was filed, and this is how they understood the corroboration, if you will, was that she detailed an incident in the lawsuit, and then this video came up and it showed the things that she said.
Yes.
So apparently he had been drinking, he had been abusive, he had fallen asleep. She thought he was asleep. She tried to make the escape. Before she could get out on the elevator, he struck her physically down. He kicked her. He dragged her. He grabbed her personal belongings. First of all, he ran down the hall after her, right? So
with a towel wrapped around his waist.
Right. So that's a huge red flag for me, because that means, again, you have a moment, you had the time to say, you know what, she's leaving, let her leave. So you ran down the hall, you grabbed her, then you cornered her, and then you started picking up stuff and throwing it at her. This young lady was, what, 17 years his junior at least?
I think so.
But yet you showing us you have 2 twin daughters, and now you just had another baby girl. Okay. I don't know how you would react if you saw a man do that to your child. But what I'm going to say is, it's unfortunate that a lot of the women, we were talking about this earlier, a lot of the women who were in the music industry who have come out and talked about their own trauma and abuse, they witnessed it. And they believed that kind of behavior was okay. I don't know if that was Cassie's situation, but she stayed for a long time.
Yes, she did.
And I wonder how many family members were like, girl, don't even worry about that. But look, you get to go to these places, you get to wear these clothes, you got this kind of money in your account, it'll be okay. Like, I wonder how many people, or did anybody even know?
Or how many, but again, I do believe people know, but people participate in the grooming process.
Yeah.
Because they're complacent and complicit, and they participate in the grooming process. So the grooming process, as you said, it's not that bad. It's okay. You look at all the things you have. Right. You got this, and this. He good otherwise. He just harms you physically every now and then. Everything else is good. Right. And that's a part of the grooming process, and why women have such a hard time breaking free from their abusers. But one of the big questions, so we have a comment here, I want to show it. The lawsuit listed more than what we saw. The lawsuit listed a lot. Yeah. A lot. This is just one thing before our eyes. So let's talk about how we got before our eyes, since it's so old. So, sister, you got a theory.
Yeah. So you and I were discussing, how did this come out? Who held that video for since 2016? And at first it was like, man, maybe there was an employee. He, obviously I would think Diddy would know that they have cameras around the hotel, because there's multiple angles. So I would think that he paid somebody to get rid of that
or to
acquire all of the footage. And so at first we were debating whether or not an employee might have leaked it to CNN.
And saved it and held it.
Saved it, held it. Maybe they were supposed to destroy it and they saved it and held it. But then I remembered the raid. And there was a raid on his house. And
how long ago was the raid? Was it like a month or 2 months ago?
Something. It was this year, recent. And we know it was in Los Angeles, his Los Angeles and Miami homes. Miami? Yeah, I think so. And things were confiscated from his home. So it makes me wonder, when he paid whomever he paid, because he had to pay somebody to acquire this footage. If that footage was on one of his computers or something like that, and he acquired it and he kept it, and it was a part of what was found in that raid, and that maybe that's how it got leaked to CNN specifically and only. Because
CNN is good with their sourcing of information.
They are. And let's say, and let me say this, this is also the tragedy of it all. Number one, I hate that Cassie has to now see this over and over again. It's one thing to say your truth and speak your truth. It's another thing that now we've seen a glimpse. We saw one night. Yes. And this girl was with him for like almost a decade, I believe. So it's so troublesome that she has to relive this, right? But then the other piece of it is, if he did have this footage on those computers, that speaks to that predatory behavior. That speaks to that narcissism. That speaks to how, like how they talk about with serial killers, how they keep souvenirs. It makes you wonder, because if I had done something like that, I think I would have gotten rid of that. And if you kept it and somebody found it, why were you keeping it? So anyway,
I'm starting to believe you that in that raid, things were found, and that there's probably a federal employee who is trying to sit on some stats. Okay.
Somebody slid CNN that video.
Somebody slid that video to CNN. And maybe they slid the video to CNN because maybe they got tired of you saying, like we said, the hubris, the narcissism, the arrogance, all of it. And you ain't got caucasity, but you sure got some audacity and the mitigated go. They got tired and was like, no.
And again,
this is just our theory.
You can make a lot of money and live a very unhappy life. And I will say, I believe since the essence spread after Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace was killed, I think he has lived a tormented life since then. But that doesn't give you permission to torment other people.
Amen to that. Hallelujah. So our number, I don't know if it's number 1 or number 5.
Our favorite, and we didn't side-eye the sister. Y'all know who we side-eye.
Bleach blonde, built, butch body. If y'all ain't heard the song, y'all better Google that song and get it in your life, baby, because bleach blonde, bad built, butch body is about, okay? It's giving me feels like BBL Drizzy.
Okay.
BBL.
This girl been singing this BBL.
Baby, y'all ain't
been here but a few hours.
If y'all ain't getting to that BBL, listen, this is giving me feels like the BBL Drizzy. So,
whatever, I don't know. There is clearly a this AI generator, and it's doing like Motown type hits.
Yes.
Listen, I know how we feel about AI, but sometimes you've got to be thankful for what you got,
girl.
And this one is about, like you said,
it is definitely a bop.
So let's recall how we got.
How did we get here?
Blind, bad built, butch body.
So,
I mean, we all know already, but we'll tell people.
So our Congress,
as they said on Saturday Night Live, has become the Waffle House of Representatives. Because y'all is clown. You are wasting my taxpayer money.
That's it. I want my money back. I want all of us should be getting refund checks right now. If you ain't filed yet, don't file. Tell them, send me my money. Run me my coins. Because You don't deserve no salary. You don't deserve no health care. You don't deserve nothing because you have spent in these phony, fake hearings of congressional committees that y'all asses ran up to New York so you could be at the courthouse, outside the courthouse, instead of handling the people's business. So you using our taxpayer dollars for you to run up to the courthouse in New York behind your God,
Right.
behind
Your golden calf.
your golden calf and false idol,
Right.
Christians. And then you want to have this hearing in the dead of night. And man, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is an awful human being. She was an awful human being. The people in Rome, Georgia voted for her. Now, she barely won the second time, and I hope she loses bad this time. I hope she loses. But she was an awful human being when she was following David Hogg, who was one of the children who was a victim in the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting here in Florida. And she was following him around and calling them crisis actor and tormented those children. She's been a horrible human being. That's who she is.
That's who she is.
And now she's in Congress with her MAGA hat and everything else. And she
was the one who, during the State of the Union, of course, wanted to give Joe Biden a button. And he took the button, and we found out all the lies. You done brought up this lady talking about she was raped and all this stuff, tortured by all these illegal immigrants to try to make your point. And it was like, first of all, that ain't what happened. Second of all, that wasn't during Joe Biden's administration. Third of all, you lying.
Always
and that woman
lying.
didn't want her story used in that way.
No. And so here she goes. They're having this hearing on now which is this hearing on? Because first they've been trying to impeach Joe Biden, then they was trying to mess with Hunter Biden, and now they trying to they tried to do
this was the Justice Department dude.
Oh,
Merrick Garland.
Yes, they trying to do whatever with Merrick Garland. Anyway, Jamie Raskin, who is the ranking member and the Democrat on that committee, was just like, Mr. Chair, like this is ridiculous. Like here we are in the dead of night because of what y'all doing. And so as our sister Miss Crockett, Jasmine Crockett from Texas, was speaking, she decides to try and say something about her eyelashes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to talk about she confused, and maybe if she let me find
her eyelashes was what we dropped the link to it so y'all can watch it. And so AOC the Bronx came out because she was like, we strike that from the record. That comment is not allowed because.
She said Greene remarked Thursday that Crockett was having trouble reading because of her fake eyelashes.
And as we said, there's decorum, there's parliamentary. We have been in organizations where we're supposed to know a little bit about Robert's Rules of Order, but the chair of that committee, Comer, clearly don't know because he got to have all these people surround him because he messes it up every single time. And so AOC was like, no, point of order, that needs to be taken down. Those comments need to be taken down. And then she wanted to say something to her, oh, you afraid of something? And she was like, baby girl. Because I was like, AOC, don't jump across that, because she looked like she was about to jump. And so as the hearing continued to go on with its foolishness, and as Keisha said, yes, it was that type of show. It was foolishness. And yes, she gave us life because what she did, she asked for a point of order. I need you to clarify these rules, Miss Chair. So if someone can someone say that you are bleach blonde, bad Bill Butch body? Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, what?
But like they said, but Jamie Raskin was sitting there like, I'm pretty clear on what she said.
Jamie Raskin was like, why am I here? Why am I here? Yes, They are not true believers. They say it for their bait. They not true believers. They don't know nothing about Christ and how he lived, child. Yes, no, baby girl is what she said. Yes, listen. I really hope the people in that northwest corridor of Georgia do not reelect this woman. She's an awful human being. She has not added value, and anything that has come into your district has been because the federal government, under the current administration, has sent federal dollars down to your state, and your governor gladly takes the federal dollars for that as improvement, even though she's claiming that that nothing is happening. That is what's happening. So those infrastructure bills, the any healthcare, all the things that are happening, that is what's happening. The federal government sends money down the states, and some states choose to take it, some states don't choose to take it. Here in Florida, they always take infrastructure money, but then they turn away money for kids for summer school food programs like they do in Louisiana. Yeah. Y'all watch carefully as to what they're doing. Watch carefully as to what they're doing and what they're saying with their mouths in front of camera, but what actually is happening legislatively. These laws are, these dollars, these federal dollars are being pushed down to these states, these welfare states, and they don't want to give credit where credit is due because they want to use our tax dollar to run their asses up to a New York courtroom.
And also want to use our federal dollars to have some really good health care while denying you health care.
Boom. That's all.
Here's what I'm going to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene, other than that she's an awful human being and she should not be reelected, and Rome, Georgia, and all her, whatever her district is. You all should ask yourselves, is this who you really want? Is this the best you got? Because if this is the best you got, baby, y'all need to close the borders around your town because nobody else needs to get out or come in. Okay? Because she is an embarrassment to you.
And she's not the only one, because Comer is from Texas.
Oh no, she's not the
Comer is an embarrassment. Matt Gaetz is an embarrassment. Donaldson, he's all of you people who are pledging loyalty and fealty to your golden calf versus really doing and being about the work and the people's business. And I'm not saying you have to agree with the ideology or agree with all the policies, but put in some work. Do some work. Right. Do some work on things that matter, because the only things that y'all pass are frivolous. Like, don't name another post office, like, please, or a street or a highway. That's all that you all seem to get passed. Right. There's major issues that face us each and every day, and Marjorie Taylor Greene again. And I don't care for Mike Johnson, but she was trying to get him out of his job again. Girl, y'all didn't get nothing done.
Just recently was trying to get Mike Johnson, and again, not caping for him at all, ever in life, never. Yeah. But girl, did you see how long it took y'all to get him in office?
That part.
And now you're gonna sit up here and disrupt the processes and procedures and getting work done in this Congress again? Because you want to fire him. So anytime somebody does something to reach across the aisle and say, let's have some bipartisan legislation, you're going to say, he's not standing up for us. That's not how this country is supposed to work. No. Now, at the end of the day, look, you don't want to call this place racist. So if you don't want to call it racist, then why do you keep acting like anytime somebody wants to work with people who don't look like you, who don't talk like you, who not from where you from, it's a problem? Why is that a problem for you? So one of the comments that Jasmine Crockett mentioned on State of the Union, she said, MAGA has historically been on social media doing the things where they're saying, oh, she's black with lashes and nails and hair, and so she's ghetto. It is buying into a racist trope. And it is. And I will say this, Marjorie, you picked the right one on the right day. Thank you for saying something about her fake lashes. Because whatever you thought it was hidden for, baby, she hit you 10 times better. And you gonna remember for the rest of your life If nobody remembers your name, they're going to remember bleach blonde, bad built butch body, because you showed your ass in Congress. And, well, there it is right there.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
You showed your ass in Congress, and she said, you know what? I got time today. And that's what people got. Sometimes we got time.
And so as we get ready to leave tonight, we're going to go ahead and play out.
Well, we wanted to share the one story.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to get ready. Let's share this one positive. Let's share the positive story.
Then we can play this on the way out.
Yeah, we'll play this on the. Let's share the one positive story, because, you know, you talk about delayed, not denied. And so one Mr. Ed DeWhite, did I drop the link to that one?
You may have dropped it. I don't know.
Let me get it, because I want to drop the link to this story. And one Mr. Ed DeWhite, he was an airman back in the 60s, and he is 90 years old. He was tapped by John F. Kennedy to actually be an astronaut, be the first African,
first
black astronaut. And he, when Kennedy was assassinated, so he was denied that opportunity. And today he went up with Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos's company, at 90 years old, and got to go out to travel out of this Earth atmosphere and see that for a few moments. And it was just so heartwarming to see, and a blessing. And we have had Black astronauts since him, but the fact that at 90 years of age, and he and his wife was there to witness him take that journey as well. You know, we know that you can be delayed, but you will not be denied, especially if you're a righteous person, honey. And so love see him in his young spirit. Absolutely. Congratulations, sir. We are so, you just make us proud.
Yes. He said, after coming down, he said, long time coming. Minutes later, standing outside the capsule, he said that the flight had been life-changing. He admitted that he had been saying earlier in the day that he didn't need the flight in his life, but I lied, he said. So we're happy that he was able to take that flight at 90 years young.
At 90 years young. Hallelujah. Talk about a blessing. And so we are going to play you out on this. If y'all can hear this. Congratulations. Congratulations.
She built like a moon. She built like a moon.
What's she doing? Don't come for me, baby. Dog walk you, bro. Don't play with me. Good night, everybody.